Hope everyone's doing okay. Where are we today? We are walking, we're going to be walking down some avenues that I normally don't travel down. It's going to be multiple avenues. So we're going to start with 23rd Avenue. Right now I am walking by the newest building on Cropsey Avenue called the Bayview Courtyard. It's right up along Cropsey Avenue. Right on 23rd Avenue. That's where we're going to start. I got to get across here safely. I have the light. I actually timed it. So I knew when I get over here I get the light. I wanted to turn around and show you guys the building. So this is the building I was just walking through the courtyard. This is the newest, one of the newest buildings on Cropsey Avenue. All right, so let's start walking. I will give you guys the route that we're going to be doing. So we're going to be on 23rd Avenue, 24th Avenue, 25th Avenue. We'll get down to 26th Avenue. We'll see how far we go before we have to stop. So the way the avenues work this far down in Brooklyn is, right now we're going from Cropsey to Stillwell, and then we'll swing over to 24th Avenue and come back up. Then we'll swing over to 25th and go back down. So you get the point. Just walk by this house and give you guys a look at this house. It's an interesting looking house. Try not to miss the homes along the way. There's some interesting architecture. Looks like, yeah, like two walk-ups over there. What I was gonna say is, so the avenues down here, they, from this point, you know, like, they'll get shorter and shorter because Stillwell Avenue is like a diagonal run through the ends of Brooklyn. So as you'll notice, like, this will be the longest avenue that we walk down, and it'll get shorter as Stillwell Avenue kind of cuts through and shortens the avenues. I mean, when you get to down by when you start to get down by 25th Avenue, you'll see what I mean. And then 26th Avenue pretty much ends on 86th Street, because by that point Stillwell Avenue is cutting through 86th. So as far as the neighborhoods that we're walking, you know, Bath Beach, Gravesend. You can't really see, you can't really say Bensonhurst. Bensonhurst, kind of the border, they consider the border for Bensonhurst at around Bay Parkway. That's pretty much for that. So Bath Beach, Gravesend section. You can see some of these big homes. So there's a lot of big homes when you get past Benson Avenue. As we get further down, there'll be more apartment style buildings. And then there'll be big homes again. You'll see when we get down by Stillwell, as we get close to Stillwell, there's some older style homes on 23rd Avenue. It is gorgeous out. It is 70 degrees. It's feeling more like May than April. There is a bit of a breeze. But I decided to forego the wireless mic with the windscreen today because it's not that windy. And we're going to be constantly changing direction, so we're not always going to be walking into the wind. Some nice flowers. Benson Avenue. We'll be making, several passes through these crosses as we'll be going up and down. So I'm not going to call them out every time I cross them. I guess what I'll do is I will, occasionally call out a street on this pass, on the 23rd Avenue pass, because then once we get, 24th, 25th, 26th, it's really all the same as far as what we're crossing. Looks like, like all these condo style units. Wonder if they're apartments or condos. And you get some of these older style homes here. Now, I have a cousin, he used to live down here. I'll show you guys where he used to live. He actually lived on the corner of 84th Street. You'd be passing by in a little bit. I used to hang out here a lot. Got St. Mary's over here, which they changed the name of the church is still St. Mary's. But they changed the name of the school. I always forget it, because to me it's St. Mary's. This is 86th Street, in case you don't know. Let this guy cross into 86th Street here. Okay, so it's St. Peter Catholic Academy. I always forget that new, the new name, but like I said, it's St. Mary's. There's a church over there. You can see St. Mary's Church. I'll give you guys a look. Give you guys a look at St. Mary's. So we used to have a cheese ball league. Probably like, what the hell is a cheese ball league? So we used to have like wiffle ball, cheese ball, and we used to play games all day with different teams, and we used to play in here. This at one time was a schoolyard. It is now a parking lot. This in front of us was a schoolyard, is also now a parking lot, and I'll take you to the third schoolyard in a second, but this is St. Mary's. Well, let's see if I can walk through here. We're going to find out in a second. It should be open on the other side. If it's not, I'm going to have to turn around. Oh, I hope I have a way out of here. It's still the same. So here we go. Now this was always a parking lot. This right here. Can I walk out this way? Okay, so I can walk out, and then over there, you see those two buildings, those two condo units. That was the third schoolyard. Well, that was third schoolyard. That was the schoolyard. They put those. Those were the first. That was the first property that they sold, and then they built those two condos, and then they turned the other schoolyards into parking lots. And I was telling you that my cousin used to live over here, and that's where he used to live, right there. That corner beige looking building with it's got stucco now, but it looked pretty much like this one, the bricks. All right, so we'll get back onto 23rd Avenue now. That is the thing now. You see a lot of these people riding people on the back of these electric bikes or these mopeds, and no helmets. We just had that moped crash about a month ago. I was doing the New Utrecht walk. Turns out it was two teenagers on there, and they both ended up in the hospital after getting into an accident. I have no idea how long this walk will be as I record it, but obviously by now everyone will be able to see after I'm done with the walk how long it's going to take, looking into the future. And we are crossing 82nd Street. Four-way stop signs over here.
подымай, да, бумажки.
Yeah, this big house on the corner of 81st. This is a really big house. I would imagine they have multiple apartments in here. Possibly, I don't know. I mean, it's one of the bigger homes on 23rd. It is 70 degrees out. I said that earlier, but it is warm. 70 degrees. I say that because, now, this is the time of year now where, let's check out some of these homes over here. We'll go over across the street. But this is the time of year where you start to sweat when you're walking long distances. So, start to get warm. Still a lot of Italians living here. You can see the Italian and the American flag in that doorway. This is actually a nice property right here with these trees. Give you a look at these trees. And we're going to be right over there in a second. That's Stillwell Avenue, but we're going to fulfill the obligation of completing the avenues. I'm going to turn here diagonal, and then we're going to go up to 24th. That's a nice home right there, right across the street on the corner. This house on my right looks like it's getting renovation done. Now, right over there is Quentin Road. I feel like I'm always mentioning Quentin Road. This is where it ends, in case you ever wondered. I took you guys around Quentin Road, but all the way down the Marine Park side. You'll have to check that one out. Originally, I was going to go into the city, changed my mind, and said, you know what, maybe go into Queens. Changed my mind. And I said Park Slope or go into Bed-Stuy. We got to do Crown Heights. But it was like there was something going on this morning with me, so I was working on something, and then I decided I left a little late, and I was like, yeah, I'll just stay in the area. This counts as a walk. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this area before, like these specific avenues. I mean, we've been on Stillwell Avenue before, but there goes Bad Boys Pizza is over here. If you remember, Bad Boys Pizza used to be right over on 86th Street, right next to the bank over there. They are over here now. They've been here for some time. And then on my left here is where Highland Avenue ends. Another one I was just telling you guys about. We did the West 7th walk. That's what I remember now. It was West 7th. We just did West 7th. And I was mentioning those two roads. Okay, so here we are. We're on 24th Avenue now. And we'll do this up to Cropsey and then come down 25th. Now, there are some old style homes down here that have been around for a long time. You got this colonial style kind of home here on the corner. They get the street closed for all the kids over there. They probably have like a school or something going on over there. They'll do that. They'll tend to shut the streets down if the school doesn't have a schoolyard. They do that a lot in Park Slope. Here's another one of these homes. I'm going to get in the street for this one. I had to step back. There was a car coming. Looks like something got knocked down over there, and that's what they're building. This home has a nice little archway going on. Oh, we're walking by another McDonald's. Didn't we walk by McDonald's on the last one? Yeah, we did. It was on Bay Parkway when we were going over to 67th Street. This is the 24th Avenue and 86th Street McDonald's. And I'm going to see if I could get across 86th Street while the light is about to change. I don't want to be waiting for the light on 86th Street. So here we go. All right, so now we'll get back to Benson, Bath, and Cropsey, and we will head over to 25th. That looks like a newer style condo unit. Right here on my left, I'm gonna clear my throat. You got some of these homes. Walking around the streets of Brooklyn. Sorry, there ain't no Strand's bookstore or Union Square Park over here. Everyone's probably wondering why did I make that comment? I'll tell you why. Yeah, I give you guys a little rant of some of the ridiculous comments I get sometimes on my channel. Looks like this house is for sale. As we come up to Benson Avenue, and this is an elementary school over here. I believe this is like I think this is called like the Verrazano School. We're going to be passing Cavallaro also, so stay tuned. Anybody that wants to see Cavallaro. But getting back to why I said the Strand bookstore in Union Square, I had a comment recently from a smart person, I guess. Now, mind you, if you're from New York City, you know that Union Square and the Strand bookstore is not on 3rd Avenue. I hope everyone knows that. If you're from New York. If you're not from New York, or even if you're off from New York and you just don't really care, Yes, I was right. This is called the Verrazano School. PS 101. But anyway, on my 3rd Avenue walk that I did, somebody had mentioned or complained that I skipped the Strand Bookstore and Union Square Park, and then made the comment, "Are you from New York?" And I kind of like looked at that comment and I'm like, he's asking me if I'm from New York. I'm like, does he realize that the Strand Bookstore and Union Square Park is over on Broadway over there? So are you from New York? But that's why I made that little comment. There's no Strand Bookstore or Union Square Park over here. There's a lot of comments that I get on my channel that a lot of you never see. You know, we get comments. You know, sometimes someone will say something nasty about a person that walked by on camera. Obviously, you're gonna have your trolls and stuff like that. So, if I get a comment, you know, that comes in, you know, someone comes to the channel and either insults me or insults somebody in the comment section, or makes comments about people on the streets, I'm gonna ban that person. Now somebody might say, is that a little harsh, you know? Well, I take it, the way I look at it is this. You know, if somebody came into my home and said something nasty or disrespectful, you know, to me or whatever, well, I don't know, I might put a wine bottle over their head, but that's besides the point. But anyway, you're gonna get kicked out of the house at the very least, right? And you're never coming back. And you know, you could apologize or whatever, and I'll accept the apology, but I'm never gonna let a person into my home like that again, you know, right? That's how I look at it. So I kind of treat the channel like that. When you come into the comment section, you say something really nasty, or make an insult or something like that, you know, that's it, you're out. You had your chance. You had your one moment, and you screwed it up. And there you go. So this is Cavallaro over here. It's under construction. There's a lot of renovation going on, so there's really nothing to see. So sorry. I know everybody would have wanted to see it, but it's behind all that scaffolding and wood. All right, we're about to turn again. This time we'll be going down to 25th Avenue. Man, they really have Cavallaro boarded up. I mean, school's in session. School is open. So the school isn't closed down. It's just, you know, as you can see, there's a lot of scaffolding going on. All right, so we're 35 minutes in. Got a bit of a wind coming in here. Right by the coast. I mean, right on the other side of Cropsey Avenue is Shore Parkway, the Belt Parkway, and then, you know, Gravesend Bay. Gravesend Bay is right on the other side of the Belt Parkway. I guess I'll make the crossover here. Gets a little tricky down here because this is Harway right here. Harway. What we'll do is here's what we'll do. We'll take Harway to 25th, which is we're over here at the bus depot. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Ulmer Park depot. Walk right by the bus depot. So that's what we'll do. Let's do that. Let's just get over there. Let's look at some buses. This guy over here with the, you see the SUV parked up on the sidewalk. He's always selling like clothes, like, I don't know if it's like MTA kind of gear. Sweaters, jackets, and stuff like that. He's always over here. Like I said, this is the bus depot. This whole block right here is just the whole bus depot, all the way down. There is only one apartment building on this entire block. Across the street is the parking area for the MTA employees. So you have the bus depot, the parking lot for the bus depot, and well, it looks like there's some homes over there. It's about two small, two-story homes, apartment-style homes, and the apartment building. There's the two homes I was telling you about. Spirit of Jesus Evangelistic Church. It's been around for a long time, I know, because that used to be my bus stop going home from Lafayette High School. And we will be passing Lafayette High School later on when we get to the... We get over by, I guess, the 27th Avenue. If we keep going, we go down to 27th. So here's what I'm going to do. We're hard to see the screen, but I think we're like 40-something minutes into the walk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect my battery pack. So give me a second here. Apologize if the camera looks a little wobbly because I am using my hands. There we go. We got a fire truck. Is he gonna come up this way? Yeah, we'll get a look. We'll get a fire truck, guys. This is something we try to do on these walks. Got these two businesses right in the middle, smack in the middle of this avenue. One looks like a cafe club, like a private club, and then you got a deli here. It's a nice kept building with the lawn here, with all the flowers. I'm not much of a flower person, so I apologize if I'm wrong, but I believe these are tulips. Am I right? Somebody tell me if I'm right or wrong. I might be wrong. They're flowers. That's for sure. So I'm half right. I'm either half right or totally right. Tulips. Flowers. Here are a lot of emergency vehicles right now after that fire truck passed by. I wonder if there was an accident on the parkway. I'd say the Belt Parkway is always an accident. Always. Every single day. Sometimes 2 or 3 a day. Yesterday, going for one of my walks, there was an accident over by BH Street, by where I live. very noisy on 25th Avenue. And this is also where the 25th Avenue train station is on the D line. And this is also where they're banging all the drums. I wonder if this is actually a good... Let's see if they're still here. They are. I could see them. But I don't hear no drums. So, but people are still on the street over here. So we get a little protest update on 86th Street. You know, this is a spot we've been keeping an eye on because of the protests. I think I hear drums. What we'll do, we'll cross over. I'm not going to walk through it. I've already walked through it. You could go back on my channel. One of the 86th Street walks. As a matter of fact, it was the last 86th Street walk I did, maybe? No, it wasn't the last one. It was last year. You could go check it out. But they are protesting this area over here. They're trying to tear down the buildings and build a homeless shelter in the area. Locals have been protesting it. It looks like all the protesters on this side of the street are gone. So they're all gone on this side. But they're still across the street. You can see them over there. It's not as big as it was. It's right in front of the building itself. But at the peak, the protesters were all the way down to Stillwell and on this side as well. So it has definitely become just like a sitting area, I guess. Nobody's really making any noise. Like they got some tents up and stuff. Yeah, nothing going on. Yeah, that way if anybody asks me, because every once in a while I get people that ask me if they're still protesting, there's your answer. Right. As I said earlier, the avenues will get shorter. This time we're gonna hit Stillwell Avenue pretty much on 84th Street. I think we hit Stillwell Avenue on, I want to say 79th Street or 80th Street on the last one. So we're gonna turn right back around and head over to 26th Avenue. We're passing by John's Deli. It was a hangout for me when I was in Lafayette. We used to have sandwiches over there. As a matter of fact, what we will do is we will get on that side. We did Stillwell Avenue earlier this year, I believe. We came in from Coney Island and went over to the park. This was actually a waste of time waiting to cross this thing. Maybe I shouldn't have. Let's forget it. I don't want to be standing here all day waiting to cross. guess I'll just show you guys from across the street. Oh, his light's gonna change, so let's do it. Let's take it. Here we go. Look at that, it worked out perfectly. So here you go. This is a very busy commercial area of Stillwell running into 86th Street here. We have the D train making the turn onto 86th. There goes John's Deli right there. Petco at one time was the Nathan's Food Court. We had a Nathan's Food Court over here, and I believe, if I remember going way back, White Castle. Alright, I gotta get over there. We gotta go over that way. That's 26th Avenue in front of us. So we're gonna play with the pylons here. Oh, looks like I got the whole way across. Lucky me. Lucky me. All right, now we're on 26th. Let's see what's on 26th Avenue. Now, this stretch of 26th is only going to take us 3 blocks up to Cropsey. There are no traffic lights down here. A lot of the intersections on this end are 4-way stop signs when you get up to these name streets. It was some old looking homes. They definitely look old. Everything else, just these modern brick walk-ups. So it looks like we're going to make it over to Lafayette High School. Because what we're going to do here is we're going to walk up 26th, make the turn, and we'll go down 27th. And I believe 27th Avenue ends at Benson Avenue, so We're getting close to the end. Now, I was saying earlier when we started, you know, you could say we're in Bath Beach / Gravesend, but now we're definitely in the Gravesend section once you get down here. So you got a fire hydrant here with the Italian flag colors. Probably people that own the house right here to my right. It's a very nice house. Look at the gates on this house. It's like a driveway. It looks like wow, that's a big garage. Oof. Interesting looking home. It's getting a little breezy. It is supposed to be breezy today. In the afternoon it's supposed to get a little bit more breezy. This is that time of year where you get that sea breeze, and even if it's like yesterday, so yesterday it was 83 degrees yesterday. Kind of crazy. I did go out. You know, I didn't take the camera with me. When I went out around 5:30, 6 o'clock, man, that sea breeze came in and it really knocks the temperature down like 20 degrees. You see an Italian flag. See, still a lot of Italians in the area. We all haven't left. This one hasn't left, the one that's talking to you right now. I'm going to cross over here. The library is still here. Oh, I was wrong. There are traffic lights. These are new, by the way. They have to be new. There wasn't always traffic lights over here. It was always a four-way stop sign. You could tell they're new. Man, look how like new the yellow paint is on these walking indicators. They must have just put these in recently. Well, in recent memory, how's that? Could have been last year, who knows. There's a library. I used to come here and do book reports. Really didn't get any work done. We ended up coming in here to hang out and stuff. Yeah, these two little cottage style homes. Look at this. It's how all the homes look like on these blocks back you just picture like 30 years ago. I mean, a lot of these, like these on my left side have been around for a long time, but you could see like all the newer ugly, like look how ugly that is. That's ugly. I'm sorry. Does that look like a home? It looks more like a office building or something. But that's what they do. They knock down those nice little homes and they put those things. You can see there's a newer condo style building there with the brick, and then these two smaller style homes. I'll get in the street so you guys can see them. There's a small one right next to it. Look at that one over there. Look at that. Let's actually go over there. Look at this. This is like a old style. This is a real railroad type of home. Look at that. Who knows how many years these? Look at the chimney. Look at the stones. Uncut stones to create the chimney. That's nice. Yes, this is one of our longer than normal walks. Every once in a while I'll do something around an hour, 15-minute walk. So this is going to shape up to be one of those. Here's what I'll do, because this is a nicer, I feel like this is a nicer strip to walk. We'll get onto Harway instead of going to Cropsey. I don't know. What do you think? You think you're cheating if I don't go to Cropsey? Because there's some nice homes over here I want to show off. So nice little hut homes. Here we go. Oh, looks like the funeral home is no longer in operation. That funeral home was around for many, many, many years. This right here is a bus stop. If you, when I was going to Lafayette, coming to school is where we used to get off right here. Still in the same spot. All right, we're gonna take it down 27th, and we're gonna end it on 27th Avenue. So we pretty much walked 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, and we're gonna end it on 27th. Now I did cheat a little bit. I didn't go all the way up to Cropsey. So here we go. Let's wrap it up. So we'll be ending it pretty much alongside the field of Lafayette High School. We'll end it over on Benson Avenue, over at Lafayette Park. What we'll do is we'll go into Lafayette Park. It's a ranch style. It feels like a ranch, right? Look at this. Ranch style fencing. With this little home here. It's definitely not wood though. It's metal. It's rusting away. And right across from me on my right is Coney Island Prep. Upper elementary. That's something I've never heard. And across the street you can see like there's some of these old homes. Look at the way the school property is built around these homes. Let's go over there. I want to go check this out. This is interesting. Look at this home in the back here. Look at that. Those are homes right there. Those two homes back there. The garage is right out here. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And there's another home back there. Look at that. It's interesting. And then over here, I know there's some homes set back here too. So, oh, let me get across the street before I get hit by a car. So another two of these. Oh, those look like the back of the homes on the other side of the street, but there's entrances on this side. That's what it looks like. No, they're on this avenue. Those are the entrances. It is kind of weird the way those. Well, it's not really weird if you think about it. I mean, at one time, you know, these roads didn't exist, so the homes probably outdate the roads and the rest of the real estate. So. Sounds like someone's trying to start a motorcycle. Oh, he almost wiped. He almost wiped. Boy. He almost wiped. He was so lucky. I don't know if you guys saw that through the car. I saw it. My head was higher than the camera. And he came out and he fishtailed. But he caught himself. That would have been bad. That was a nice bike. Alright, this is Lafayette High School. This is my high school. I graduated from here in 1992. Still looks the same, of course. Look at this place. What is going on there? That is an interesting looking home. Those windows are just... I don't know if that's a home or an office or whatever, but it... Alright, we're going to end it here on Benson Avenue. I want to thank everybody for coming along on the walk. We had a nice long walk, 72 minutes. That's about an hour, and that's pretty much an hour and 12 minutes. There go the tennis courts and the whole handball courts that are never used, by the way. I don't ever in my life see people playing handball down here. I just don't get it. Like, I've never seen anybody playing handball down here. There goes the D train. I said I would take you all into the park, so I'm going to do that. That's where we're going to end it. Lafayette Park. Ah, looks like they closed this park over here, the park over on Stillwell. I was saying the other day, they're reconstructing a lot of the parks in the area. And I'll take you guys into the park, and that's where we'll end it. Alright guys, this is it. This is where I'm going to end it, right here at Lafayette Park, right off of Stillwell Avenue and Benson Avenue. And I hope everybody enjoyed it, and this is going to be it for me. I guess I'll sit on the bench for a second. But I hope everybody enjoyed the walk, and I will catch you all on the next one, wherever that's going to be. So take care, and bye-bye.